Welcome to the Badass Breastfeeding Podcast. This is Dianne, your lactation consultant.
And this is Abby, the Badass Breastfeeder. And today's episode is brought to you by Cake Maternity. Cake Maternity has spent over 16 years developing their range of styles, which include hands-free pumping bras, supportive nursing bras, sports bras, lace plunged nursing bras, and skin-to-skin birthing bras, and everything in between. And we will hear more from our sponsor later, but you can head to badassbreastfeedingpodcast.com and check out our sponsor page. If you ever need anything, see if you can give any of them your business because they make this podcast possible. And while you're there, scroll down and enter your email address and we will send episodes straight to your inbox every week. And we are on Patreon. And we would love to see you over there for our Zoom hangouts and all of our original content and our weekly check-ins where we get to see how everybody is doing. We've really gotten to know a few people over there. And it's lovely. And so you can head to the link at the top of the show notes under this episode, wherever you're listening from. And we will, or you can look at the tiers there and see if one of them looks good to you. We are also still hosting our ongoing giveaway for people who leave reviews around the internet. You can leave written reviews or stars or whatever you can do. Just take a screenshot along with your address and send it to Badass Breastfeeding Podcast at gmail.com. And we'll send you a goodie bag. We do it all the time. It did not expire. Go ahead and do it. We have thank you for nursing in public cards that you can pass around. And we have podcast stickers to put on your water bottle, which is all the rage. At least it is with me. I keep getting new water bottles. So I'm like, I don't have any room for stickers on this one anymore. And let's see. Is that all that I say?
I think that's all you say. Yeah, because now I've got our review of the week.
No, yay.
Yay. When my baby was born, I knew absolutely nothing about breastfeeding except that I hoped to do it. After a few bumps in the road around 6 weeks, I discovered this podcast through a random Reddit thread. I started listening, and now 14 months later, I'm still listening, nursing, and bed sharing with my little tot. Considering I knew nothing about breastfeeding to start, I attribute our successful journey to being knowledgeable about what is normal when it comes to nursing babies. Whenever someone fed me misinformation, I knew to brush it off or correct them because I had the tools from this podcast to know better. Biting, starting solids, extended nursing, infant sleep, schedules, distracted feedings, pumping, blah, weight gain, they cover it all. Today, totally recommend so you can make more informed decisions to support you and your little one's breastfeeding journey.
That's really nice.
And we've really got to get on this Reddit thing.
I know. You know what? I got Reddit just for that so that I could read comments and basically correct them on podcasts.
Oh my God.
But I don't know. I was there one time. I can't even remember what the discussion was. And it was so terrible. And people were just like, oh, just do this. And it was just such bad information that I just got really depressed. And I was like, I can't. I was just like, this is hopeless. It's never going to get better. And I put it down. But maybe I could change my attitude.
I hope people find some good information. That's how I get when I see stuff on Facebook and Instagram and stuff. And it's bad information. I'm like, oh my God, I can't.
Yeah, it just seems, sometimes it seems like it's just never going to get better.
Yeah.
And at least it gets better for people who listen here, who are, interested in learning and want to, or have issues that they're trying to work through or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, at large, I mean, society at large, it's not getting better out there. It's not.
Unfortunately not.
It's not going to get better. Certainly not in the next few years.
I mean, we have this outlet of social media where people can just say whatever they want to. Everybody's an expert, right? Everybody can just go out there and hang their shingle and say that they're an expert. And that's really, it's hard because then how do you know? And that brings us to, the thing that you wanted to read for us today.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's perfect. It's a perfect segue into that because she was also like, all the misinformation.
Yes. So this person wrote to me about alcohol and breastfeeding and said that she had listened to the episode, but then it was one particular like website or something on the internet that actually, when I read it, I was like, I feel like this is not exactly all misinformation. Some of it's a little like over the top cautious, like that I thought was not necessary, just if when you understand like the science and the numbers. But we were just kind of talking about that. And so she was like, yeah, our culture is big on using scare tactics, and with our children, it's so successful. I had been told when my daughter hit her 4-month sleep regression that the only solution was sleep training. Leave her in a room and she will work it out. That railed against my intuition, but we went ahead and bought an expensive sleep program. Luckily, I tried to start night weaning her before we really started the program. During the process, I came across this responsive parenting information. This led me to realize that this is a natural process and I am not a terrible parent because I don't want to sleep train. Through the responsive parenting information, I found the podcast Evolutionary Parenting.
Yes.
Which is Tracy Castles, who we love and is our friend and comes on the podcast a lot, and we need to have her on again.
Yeah, she's amazing.
I know. And she said, and through that podcast, I found you all last week, which is so fun. And she says, I've had ups and downs with breastfeeding, but nothing major. However, I have learned loads through your podcast in just the last week. So thank you for sharing, for being genuine, and for trying to educate people during these times when our society and culture is doing everything to manipulate how we parent and go against our intuition. And I just thought that was so cool. And I'm like, I'm going to read this.
It really is cool. And sleep is one of those things. And we have so many episodes on sleep for this reason, because it's one of those things that society always has their own ideas about. And it really is like damaging. And it's like, what do you do? What do you listen to? What do you know is right? And it's crazy. And it really comes down to like, what do you feel in your gut is the right thing? And like she was saying that this didn't feel right for her. And that's what it comes down to. If it doesn't feel right for you, I mean, come on. You don't have to do things that don't feel right. You don't have to. Nobody can make you. You're in charge. This is your baby. It's not your doctor's baby. It's not your mother-in-law's baby. It's your baby. You have to go to sleep every night as the parent of this child for the rest of your life, and you have to feel good about what you're doing. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And people are just like, oh my God, my doctor this and my doctor that. You know what? Fuck that guy. Not really. But I mean, just like certain things that they say or anybody says, it's like, I'm gonna, and we can have this. This was hard for me when I had a little baby, because this is the kind of person that I am. I'm like very black and white, very all or nothing. You are either good or bad.
Mm-hmm.
And
I'm like that too.
It doesn't always work out, because maybe you have a pediatrician that you really like. And sometimes they bring something up and you're just like, I don't agree with that. It's okay. You can totally just take what works and leave the rest.
Yeah.
This is your baby. They are not any kind of authority over you. You are paying them for their medical information and recommendations.
And the same thing with family and friends. They don't know. They don't know any more than you do. Mm-hmm. They're just giving you their opinion.
Yep. So yeah.
Listen to your gut.
Totally.
It's going to be right. It's going to be right all the time.
All right. Should we talk about gassy babies?
We should, because that's our topic today. Yeah. So we can talk about them.
Well, there's a whole bunch of misinformation to straighten out with this too.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. And we talked about, I can't remember when, a few years ago, we talked about gassy babies. And this is something, oh my gosh, almost every consult I do, this comes up, because it happens with every single baby. So if your baby is gassy, don't feel like they're the only ones out there. You're the only one experiencing this, because this happens with every baby. I feel like every single one. It's just a normal, natural response to them getting used to their system. And they're gassy, and they also don't have, so babies, newborn babies, they don't know how to get the gas out, for one thing.
Yeah. They don't have all the like abdominal muscles.
Right. They don't have any core. They're not born with a six pack. Like, they don't know. They can't get that, they can't move the gas. They don't know how to move the gas. It's something that they have to learn and figure out. And we have to help them with that. But that is one of the big things with this, is that babies get gassy and we're like, oh my gosh, what do I do? Because we feel like it's something we did wrong. Like, for some reason, and I'm guilty of this too, we all are. Anytime your baby is uncomfortable or unhappy, we always feel like, oh my gosh, what did I do wrong? And how can I fix it? And you're going to feel like that for the rest of your life with your kids. Like, I don't think that goes away. Like, a lot of things with the newborn stuff, with the baby stuff, like, goes away as you get bigger. Even the stuff with your doctor. As your kid gets older, your doctor steps back. Like, they don't like hover over you as much about weight gain and things like that as your baby gets older.
You're not there every couple of weeks anymore. You're there like once a year. They're not the go-to person all the time.
Right. So, I mean, it just changes. But you will always feel like, can I fix what's wrong? Like, that's what we do as parents, right? Can I fix what's wrong? And this is one of those things where this and spitting up, I feel like, are the biggest things that we go, oh my gosh, I did something wrong. What did I do? Yeah. Is there something wrong with the way they're eating? Is it something I'm eating? What is it that is causing this gas? Now, one of the biggest things that causes gas for your baby is crying. So it's kind of one of those things where your babies cry and they get gassy, and then they cry because they have gas. So it's like, how do you get rid of it? Like, because they're crying, and then the more they cry, the more air they're taking in, and then they're just getting more gassy. So that can be really hard. But it's something to really remember, because I never realized that crying gave babies that much gas. But it could be the biggest reason why your baby has gas if they're crying. So what I always tell parents to do, like, if you have, because this comes up with burping. I feel like I'm all over the place. Yeah. But
that's okay.
This comes up with burping a lot too, because people say, well, everybody says you don't need to burp a breastfed baby. Breastfed babies, yeah, that's what everybody says. You don't need to burp a breastfed baby. So breastfed babies, they don't take in a lot of air while they're actually physically breastfeeding. Right. Like, because it's not like a bottle where there's air in the bottle and they're taking in that air.
But that's not the only way you get air in your body.
Exactly. That's not the only way. So especially if the baby is like gulping at the breast, you have a heavy letdown and they're like doing lots of gulping, or they're crying right before. Like, if your baby wakes up and you're changing their diaper before you put them on the breast and they're crying, and then you put them on the breast and then they feed, I would definitely try to burp that baby, because they were already taking in air with crying before you put them on the breast. So that could absolutely cause some gas for them, and taking in some air before they go on to eat. So definitely always try to burp them, even if they don't give a burp. Like, you can just try. It doesn't hurt anything to try and see what you can get out of them. I wouldn't put like 10 minutes into it or anything like that, but I would, try for a couple minutes, minute or two, see if you get a burp out of them. If not, it's not the end of the world. They probably didn't have one in there to give. I remember somebody had said once, he was like this, I want to say maybe a pediatrician or something. I have his book upstairs somewhere, but it's something about like, do we really think that air is trapped in there that long? Like, do you really need to like burp a baby for 20 minutes? Like, is air that trapped in there that you have to like do that with them? So I wouldn't give it like a huge, I wouldn't try that hard. You don't need to try that hard, but definitely try to get a burp out of them if you can. But people think that things that they do while they're breastfeeding is causing this gas, like the foods that they eat. are causing gas.
Yes.
That comes up all the time. And this actually came up with a family that I'm working with right now. Her mom is usually there when I go over there. And the baby is super gassy. And the mom was like, is it something that she's eating? Could it be those Brussels sprouts that she's eating, the Brussels sprouts and the broccoli that she's eating? I go, are you eating Brussels sprouts? And she's like, yeah, I really like them. And I'm like, that's fine. You can do that. So what it comes down to, and I love to tell this because everybody's always like, oh, because it makes so much sense once you know that the food that you eat that has fiber in it, which is what makes you gassy, right? Fiber makes you gassy.
Mm-hmm.
So fiber does not get into the bloodstream. Fiber goes out of your system in the way of gas, right? We know that to be true.
Right.
So it doesn't get into your bloodstream where your milk is being made.
Yeah, because that's significant because breast milk is made from your blood, not the contents of your stomach.
Exactly.
Which I don't think people necessarily always know that.
Right. I don't think they do either.
Breast milk is made from my blood? Wait, that's weird. Yeah,
I know.
It's weird, but that's how it is.
And everybody, like you said, everybody thinks it's, the contents of your stomach is really playing a role here, and it's not. I mean, things break down. Yes, your food breaks down and things go into your bloodstream and that goes into your milk. But fiber is not one of those things. So it is not possible for your baby to get gassy from something that you're eating. And nobody believes that. I mean, they do once you tell it, like you explain it to them, but it would make, right? You would think, okay, I ate this, it made me gassy, so it's going to make the baby gassy.
Yeah, right. Yeah. If it makes us gassy, then we just assume.
Right.
It's going to make them gassy.
And then it keeps happening. Even after I tell people this, it keeps happening. So then they really don't believe me because they're like, well, it keeps happening. Well, because your babies, they just get gassy. So babies just get gassy. That's something that we can't really do too much about because they're trying to figure out their system. And they sound like they're grunting with it too, because they're really trying to get it out, that gas. And they're grunting and they sound uncomfortable. And it sounds like they're constipated. Everybody thinks their baby is constipated. Babies don't get constipated like that. And especially breastfed babies don't get constipated. And they're just like, what is going on with my baby? How do I get rid of this gas? And where is it coming from? And if you're supplementing with any kind of formula, it could be that. So that's something to consider. If you are supplementing or if you're using formula or any way, shape, or form, that could be what's causing some gas for your baby. But typically, it's just normal, regular, everyday stuff. Just regular crying, normal, their body, like they're just trying to figure out their body and they're just trying to get it out. So why don't we take a break and then we can talk about some things we can do for them.
Okay. And before we take a break, at this point is when capitalism enters the chat. Because they're like, here is this gripe water. Here's this, bottle that's going to make your baby not gassy. Here's this formula that's specially made for your baby that's gassy. And obviously, like, something's wrong with your breast milk, so you should switch to our formula. And I always talk about this thing that is like a little tube that we stick into the baby's butthole.
Oh, yeah.
And then it whistles when the air comes out.
Yeah.
Like you're literally inserting it into your baby's rectum, which I know there's rectal thermometers and all the stuff like that. But like, oh my God, I don't think we should just be jamming random things into the baby's butthole. And I don't know. I recently came across a thread underneath the company that makes one of these. And people are like, oh my God, this is so scary. Like my pediatrician warned me against using this. They have to figure it out on their own. And then other people are like, oh, my pediatrician recommended we use this. It's so great. So it's like a big controversial thing, like everything else is. But I don't know. I'm kind of on the side of like, your baby has to figure it out. Like there's, you can do bicycle legs and, a bath or something. Like they're going to get it out. Anyway. All right. We'll be right back. Today's episode is brought to you by Cake Maternity. Cake Maternity is a designer of comfortable, functional, and beautiful maternity and nursing bras. As mothers themselves, they understand that no two breastfeeding journeys are alike. They've spent over 16 years developing their range of styles, which include hands-free pumping bras, supportive nursing sports bras, and lace plunge nursing bras, to skin birthing bras, comfy sleep bras, and all the bras in between. They also understand the changes of our bodies that our bodies go through during pregnancy and breastfeeding, which is why they cater 28 to 44 band sizes and A through L cup sizes. So regardless of your size, style, or whether you're breastfeeding, pumping, or both, Cake Maternity have done the hard work so you can focus on what's important, nourishing your baby. Shop their range of maternity and nursing bras, clothing, and accessories online at cakematernity.com. That's cake like birthday cake, cakematernity.com, and use code BADASS for 15% off of your purchase over there at Cake Maternity. And you can check your show notes under this episode, wherever you're listening from, for today's sponsor and their promo code. You can also head to badassbreastfeedingpodcast.com and check out our sponsor page, as well as all of our other episodes, our favorite resources, and information about scheduling your very own one-on-one online lactation consultation with Dianne.
Yeah. People do it.
People do it all the time.
People do
you
it
have
all
a lot
the time.
of listeners, right? A lot of listeners as
Yeah, I do get several listeners. Yeah.
And
absolutely.
You could do online consultations too, so it doesn't matter where you are.
Yeah, it doesn't matter where you are. You can do online consultations. You don't have to just live here. That's totally fine.
But if you do live in the Rochester area, you could see the Dianne Cassidy in person.
Yes, absolutely. And it'd be fun. We'd have a good time.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So one of the things, like Abby said, this is kind of where capitalism steps in, because there's all this stuff on the market that you can use that claims to be helpful. Now, one of those things is gas drops. And what gas drops are is there's simethicone, and they work by breaking down the bubbles in the gas bubbles. Mm-hmm. So if you use them, I heard a doctor one time suggest, or a pediatrician one time suggest, using them prior to eating, because then it's already in their system and it can break down all the stuff. So like right before they eat, instead of giving it to them after. I heard that works better. I don't know. I mean, gas drops are one of those things. They're harmless, and it's supposed to help the baby pass the gas a little bit better. It doesn't take the gas away. It's supposed to help them to get past it a little bit easier. Mm-hmm. But it's one of those things where people would say, oh yeah, it worked, but then it didn't work. Like it just doesn't, like, there's no guarantees that it's going to be something that's going to work for you. Grape water, I don't even know what's in grape water. Like, I don't know what that is.
I don't know anymore either.
I don't know if it's something that, helps or not. Sometimes people mistake gas with colic, and they say, oh, my baby's colicky, when they're really just gassy. Just, they just need to get the gas out. So a couple things that you can do. You can try those gas drops if you want to. They're safe for newborns. And just kind of keep in mind that it may work, it may not work. It might work one time, it might not work the next time. It's just one of those things. So you have to like kind of keep that in the back of your mind, that it's not going to be a cure-all. Mm-hmm. Most likely is not going to be a cure-all. One of the other things you can do, you had mentioned bicycle legs. Mm-hmm. And bicycle legs are good because all you're doing with your baby is you are kind of moving their legs around like they're riding the bicycle. And you have to kind of like put a little pressure on their abdomen to kind of get some of that gas out. If you're just kind of like gently moving their legs a little bit, that's not going to do anything. Like you have to really move them.
Yeah,
move their legs,
I would always do the bicycle legs, like they're riding a big bike, grab them by the ankles and lay them on their back. And then you do the like bicycle legs. And then I would push both of their knees up into their gut and kind of push. Yeah. And they're giggling the whole time. They don't, and I'd see if I could loosen it up a little with the bicycle legs and then push and see if I could get it out.
I remember like, I don't know, this was years ago. I had a bad stomach ache and I thought that I had to get some gas out. So I had my kids do bicycle legs on me.
Oh my God. That's so funny. Did it work?
They were looking at me. Not really. No, I don't remember it working, but I just remember the look on their face. Like, are you serious right now? How long do I have to do this for? But it did make it feel better because it kind of like made things move around a little bit. So it did kind of make things feel better.
Yeah, I feel like in an adult, if it's ready to come out, it's not that hard to come out. But sometimes it's just like too high or too whatever. It's not ready yet.
Yeah, it's not ready yet.
What, doesn't it have to come down the colon a little or something?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know anything about this.
I don't know.
I don't know the science of farts, but.
Well, that can really help, though. I feel like pushing the baby's legs up into the abdomen, I feel like that really helps a lot. Mm-hmm. So that is something that you can do to kind of get it and like move them around, move the legs around, move them up into their abdomen, move them around. That can really help a lot. And even if it's just a distraction for them too, that can really help. And you're actively doing something with them. Another thing you can do.
Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, I was going to say another thing you can do is put them on their belly.
I was just going to say tummy time. That's what I was going to say.
Yeah. Tummy time is really good because that can help that puts a little pressure on their belly and can help move that gas out. Yeah. It really does work well. So you can do that. You can do, you got bicycle legs, you got tummy time, you've got gas drops. There was this, when I was at this mother's house a couple days ago, maybe, I don't know, like a week ago, whatever it was. The baby had a lot of gas and was keeping her from really being able to feed well. And you can tell if your baby's gassy during a feeding because they're pulling their legs in. They might be kind of pulling on and off the breast a little bit, kind of fussy. People are like, am I running out of milk? Do I not have enough milk? What's going on? And if they're pulling their legs up and kind of scrunching a little bit, that's gas. So it can interrupt their feed. So what she kept doing was she was putting her baby in one of those little baby seats that kind of seats them at like an angle. She goes, we call it the poop chair because every time I put her in that, she poops. And I've heard people say that about like their car seat too. Like there's something about the angle of these little chairs that is just enough to put them in a sitting position that will help to get the gas out. So she kept putting the baby back into this chair and the baby would just immediately quiet down and be able to kind of get the gas out and get things working.
Interesting. So, my children did nothing but scream their bloody heads off in the car seat.
Oh my gosh, really?
Yeah.
I know. Car seats are the devil.
I'm so really glad that we're past that.
I am too.
It's like y'all, it ends at some point and they can just sit in the car like normal people and it's so great. It's so never have to see one of those again.
Oh my God, so much better. I had a hard time, not that this is a car seat conversation, but keeping up with the car seat rules because I felt like they changed all the time.
Yeah.
So I would be like, make me nervous. Like do I have it right? Is this wrong? Do I have them sitting in the right car seats? Like I was never sure about the car seats. I was so glad when I got to give them up and they have to be in them now until they're like 7 or something like that.
I know. It's so ridiculous. It's not ridiculous. I understand it's a safety thing, but they're just not good. They're, I don't know. It's just so much easier without them. Life is easier without them. And then they're just like, here's this thing that's keeping your child from dying in a car accident. You just put it in.
I know.
You idiot. Just put it in, this car seat. And I'm like, I feel like I shouldn't be in charge of this.
I know. I don't like it. And then when I worked at the hospital, people would always be like, do I have this right? Because you couldn't go home if you didn't have a car seat.
Right. But they're not there showing you how to put it in or anything. You could just have it sitting on the car seat.
Exactly. And even now when I do private practice work and people come to see me in my office, sometimes they'll still ask me about the car seat. Like, do I have it right? Is it right? Like, do I have this? And it's like,
you're like, I don't know.
I mean, what if I give them wrong information?
Yeah.
And, like it could be a really bad situation there. But if your baby is fussing in the car seat, or if you're putting your baby in the car seat and they are screaming their heads off, that is a very normal process too.
Yeah.
So don't think there's something wrong with your baby or there's something wrong with what you're doing. It is normal. And usually they calm down once they get going, but that is a normal piece of things. So don't worry about it.
It is, unfortunately.
Yeah. So back to gassy stuff, just to kind of recap, you don't have to worry about what you're eating. It's nothing you're eating, nothing you're drinking, nothing you're doing. It's just a simple process. Your baby has to figure out how to get this gas out. And they are not sure how to do that. They just don't know how to do that. So that can be really very disturbing for them and makes them cry because that's the only way they have to communicate with you. Like when they're older, they're going to be like, I have gas. What do I do? Or, whatever they say to you. I have to fart. We use the word sparkle in our house. We don't say fart.
I remember that you used the word sparkle.
Mm-hmm.
That's
we always
funny.
say that. When they were little. That's what we would always say. But that's what I still say to them. Like, did you just sparkle? And they're like in their 20s.
Like, no. We don't say that kind of stuff in my house. Exley's like, I gotta go shit my brains out. I'm like, all right. Thanks for announcing that.
I know, right? Oh my God, that's hilarious.
They're just like jungle boys. I'm like, who raised you?
That is so funny. Oh my God. So funny. Nathan would like, he would name his poops based on what he ate. Yeah. Like, no, as an adult, he would do this.
That is funny.
He'd be like, that one is called fish dinner. Like, oh, thank you. That's what we need to know. Thank you very much.
That's funny.
Okay,
I just love families where that are like that.
I know. Nathan's just a piece of work. So don't worry about what you're eating. Don't worry about what you're drinking. Think about if your baby has something other than breast milk. Because like I said, if you're giving bottles, it could be the bottle. Paced bottle feeding works really well to kind of like, people think it gives more gas. It doesn't. But you have to really consider those things if your baby is super gassy. We need to look at bottles. We need to look at if they're giving formula. But just if you're straight breastfeeding, the breastfeeding is not causing it. And everybody blames the breastfeeding. We always blame the breastfeeding for everything.
Oh, for everything.
But it's not breastfeeding that's causing this gas. It's just what's going on with your baby. Doing bicycle legs really works. Putting them on their belly works. You can try the gas drops and stuff like that. They're perfectly safe to try. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't work. Try not to stick anything in their butt. Like I don't even know what those things are called. Resist the urge to put things in their coolie. What is those things called?
Well, I know that knows that Frida Baby makes one called the Windy.
Yeah, that's
and
it.
Not to knock Frida Baby because they make the nose Frida, which is awesome. Mm-hmm. That's the snot sucker thing, which is just fantastic. And theirs is called the Windy. And like I said, it's very the comments section seemed to be very like it was very split on what pediatricians were recommending. So
yeah, so just kind of be cautious about that kind of stuff. And your baby will grow out of it. That's really the bottom line. This is newborn stuff. Your baby will grow out of it and they'll figure out how to get the gas out and that'll be the end of it.
It'll be their favorite thing. Pretty soon they'll be like farting as much as they can because it's hilarious. Trust me.
So it's all good. It goes away. It passes and you don't have to worry about it. And that's everything. That's your gassy baby.
Thanks for listening.
Thank you. Bye.